You said, no, if you put someone in my cell, I'll physically harm them.
I'm not going to be housed with a female. It's inappropriate. That's very inappropriate to me. I'm a man. I've transitioned, so, and that puts them in an awkward situation too, because a lot of the women in here are uncomfortable with us too.
This is the moment a transgender inmate told the parole board it is inappropriate for them to be put in a cell with a woman despite being in a female-only prison.
It took me a long time to fully accept what I had done to land myself in prison. I lost control on 2 separate occasions with my infant daughter, McKenna, and as a result, she sustained life-threatening traumatic brain injury due to shaken baby syndrome. I shook McKenna because I became frustrated with her crying. I was a first-time mother with poor coping skills, quick-tempered, impulsive, and struggled with anxiety and depression. Instead of asking for help like a responsible mother would, I chose to remain silent. Because of my actions, my daughter will never walk, talk, eat on her own, use the bathroom on her own, or function in any normal capacity. Doctors inform me that McKenna has no brainwave activity and will never recover. I am forever haunted by my actions, and the sorrow I feel will carry with me to my grave. I'm sorry to McKenna, my family, my ex-husband, and his family. When I entered York, I was consumed with self-hate, anger, and hopelessness. My crime made me a target, and so I did what I had to do to survive. I created a name for myself so people would leave me alone. I made weapons, I assaulted staff and inmates, and disobeyed institution rules. I was reckless, I was dangerous, and I was violent.
Whilst in prison, this inmate has constantly caused trouble. On one occasion, they were accused of sexual assault, but they say the victim made it up.
You're basically saying that the victim in that offense is lying about the details of what happened.
Well, about the sexual, yes, the sexual.
Well, why would she lie? Why would she make that up?
Because there was a police investigation going on.
Okay.
And she didn't want to get charged. My thinking is she didn't want to get charged with the weapon that I had in the room. That was my thinking of it.
So she made up a whole story about being sexually assaulted to avoid getting a ticket for a weapon in the cell?
That's what I think, yes. False allegations of PREA happen a lot here. And when I had a jurisprudence hearing with the parole board in June. Yep. And I explained everything to them as well about what was going on. And it happens a lot. It does happen a lot here.
Okay, but so do you admit that there was sexual contact, but it was consensual?
Yes, there was.
Okay, well, that's not allowed. That's against the rules of the prison.
It is.
Okay. So regardless of what the sexual contact was, you violated the rules.
I did. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I have to be honest. I'm not sure that you're being completely open with us today, and I'm a little concerned that much of your change in programming and education came this year when your parole hearing was coming up. In one of the reports we read that they wanted to house you with a roommate to prepare you for a halfway house for community release, and you said no. If you put someone in my cell, I'll physically harm them. You're putting someone at risk. Why would you say that just a year ago? Why?
Because I don't want anybody housed with me, because they house trans males with cis female inmates. And to me, that's inappropriate. I don't want to do that. I can't let that happen. I'm not going to be housed with a female. It's inappropriate. That's very inappropriate to me. I'm a man. I've transitioned, so, and that puts them in an awkward situation too, because a lot of the women in here are uncomfortable with us too. They don't want to be housed with us. So I don't want to get falsely accused of PREA. So that's why I lied to the warden.
Yeah, but there's a lot of manipulation going on here. It was fine when you were in a sexual relationship with someone else to be housed with a woman.
The parole board decided to deny the parole request. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. Should transgender inmates be allowed to choose the gender of their cellmates?